Hello everybody, it's Yasmin here, still putting my earrings in, even though I've already done chanting. How are you all? Hope everyone's really well. I'm really well, and today what I thought I would do is I would answer some more questions which came in on last night's webinar. Because we had loads of questions and I couldn't answer them all, not even close to it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've just concluded 3 days of running a free online webinar. I think you might be able to catch the very last one now, maybe until tonight or something if you want to. I mean, in a way, the first one was probably the one that you would really want to catch if you're into working with the moon. It's really something for anyone, but especially, or anyone who's interested in the moon, but it's especially useful if you are a healer, a yoga teacher, if you do Reiki, if you're a herbalist, if you're a tarot card reader, anything like that, because the course, which I'm finally allowed to talk about, I wanted to talk about it months ago. In fact, I did one post on social media that I wasn't actually supposed to do, I realized later, because they wanted it to be a surprise, which is fair enough. But yeah, so, you know, if you talk about the moon in your work, you know, if just say, for example, you're a, I don't know, psychotherapist. Do they talk about the moon? They should, because that influences people, you know, and you feel you want to tell your clients, well, it's a new moon, it's taking place in Leo, it's clashing with Saturn, it's doing this to your chart. That's what the course is there for. It's taken years for it to actually happen. It first came up as an idea that I had with a girlfriend of mine, Melissa. And we decided we wanted to help people get certified to talk about the moon, because sometimes I see people talking about the moon and I feel like they're not really 100% sure of what they're talking about, or they're just kind of, you know, regurgitating something they've said. That doesn't sound very nice. I don't mean it in a bad way. What I mean is I want to give people a solid grounding. So when they talk about the moon and the new moon, the full moon, and wishes, and working with the houses of the chart, and understanding the impact or the void of course moon, or any of those things, that they know what they're talking about. So if you would like to become a certified moonologer, the link is up there, and the course is on sale with $200 off until Monday night at midnight Pacific time. Okay, so pretty much if you get to it before Monday night midnight, whatever time you are, because of the way the time zones work, you'll probably make it, unless you're in Hawaii. All right, so I wanted to answer some of the questions that I get, and please feel free to ask me some questions. I'm just trying to see if I can see. Okay, so Deepa says, I share the moon phases with my clients all the time. Deepa, you are a perfect candidate to become a certified moonologer. You know, anyone who shares the moon phases with their clients, you know, it's about really understanding and going deeper and understanding the whole cycle of the moon, all the phases, all the cycles, all the houses that it goes through, how that affects people. Which organization is certifying? Well, it's actually, we didn't go to an organization. I saw that my lovely friend Kyle Gray went to an organization to get his crystal course certified. And I saw that about a week ago, so it was far too late for us to do that. It's a certification where we own the rights to the word moonologer. So no one can call themselves a moonologer unless I certify it. So I certify it, and there are 2 quizzes in there. You'll see if you sign up, and I've made them pretty rigorous. One person who read the quizzes said, oh, they're really hard. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want anyone who doesn't know what they're talking about to call themselves a certified moonologer. I'm sorry, I just don't. When I first started learning astrology, the person who, I want to answer these questions, but maybe I should tell you that story tomorrow. I'll tell you that story tomorrow because I want to do some questions. It's a funny story, but I want to give you some questions, so I'll tell you that story tomorrow. Alicia, sign up. If you sign up before midnight Pacific time on Monday, you get $200 off. So that's pretty big. All right. Okay, one question that I didn't get to last night. Amy asked, if you surrender and release on the full moon, what do you do for the rest of the 2 weeks afterward? Which I thought was a great question. And I'm sorry I didn't get to it last night, Amy. So basically, as soon as the full moon takes place, that's when you do your release work or your forgiveness work or both. And if you're working with clients, you need to teach them about the fact that this is all in the course in much more detail. You need to teach them that, you know, all their emotions will come up at the time of the full moon. And that's why many people start acting out at the time of the full moon. And so you need to teach them about releasing the anything that they need to release from that past 2 weeks, or indeed from their whole life. Basically, our emotions come up at the time of the full moon, so why not process them? Because we all have issues that we haven't dealt with. No, if for no other reason than life goes so fast, you know. Life goes so fast, who can keep up? You know, oh my God, I've got to get over this and that and this and that and this and that. I went through some stuff when my son was about 1.5 years. And he had a virus that lasted for 3 months. And, you know, I just remember, and he ended up in hospital. It's like bronchiolitis, you know, I think a lot of kids get it. But he ended up in hospital 3 times, and the doctor was saying, oh, he's going to have steroids and all this sort of stuff. And it was a long story, again, another story for another time. And it actually, a lot of it involved a healing he kind of got from some people who go to the same ashram that I do in India, which was extremely powerful and completely baffled the doctors. But, you know, what happened was we kind of, after the 3rd time, I knew I had a kind of almost a premonition that this was the last time he was going to have to go to hospital for this. Thank God, touch wood. And this was about 12 years ago, so I think we can safely say that was correct. He hasn't been back to hospital for that or anything else. Thank God, touch wood. And so what happened was, I remember after we left hospital, we actually drove to the Bondi Junction shopping centre, which is, we were living in Bondi at the time. And my husband went to the supermarket, and Louis and I stayed in the car. And this has never happened before or since. I was so exhausted. Louis was asleep in the back of the car, and I just fell asleep. And, you know, that's really unusual for me to sit in the car, in the passenger seat of a car, and literally just, I was so exhausted after everything. And so then we went home, and then, you know, the next day I probably had a work deadline, and I was like, oh, thank God Louis is okay. I know he's going to be okay. You know, I know about the healing. Even the doctor said he couldn't understand it. And so life went on. And it wasn't till about 6 months later or a year later, I can't remember now, and I went to India, and there was a certain incident which triggered my memory of what we'd been through in that 3-month period where he'd been into hospital 3 times. Actually, it was a 2-month period. It was at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month, and the end of the next month. And I'd never dealt with all those feelings that I had. And this thing that happened in India, literally, so I went to India with my husband looking after Louis and saying, have an amazing time, darling. And literally this thing happened within about 2 hours of me getting there, which triggered all these memories. And I literally cried. I was there only for I think 4 nights, 3 days. I literally cried pretty much 24 hours a day for 4 days. And I knew I was releasing all the fear and upset and sadness that I had had during that period, you know, a year earlier. And it was a full moon as well, you know. And so one thing it made me realize is that because our lives are so busy, we often go through stuff and we don't have a chance to process it. And I hadn't had a chance to process that because really all I cared was, oh, thank God, he's better. You know, now life can go back to normal. And I think it was actually coming on towards Christmas at the time. So, you know, it's like this time of the year where it's just everything just goes so fast. And it made me realize the importance of processing stuff. And I felt like it was actually a real gift to me that I had gone to India for those 4 days. I mean, the funny thing was I kept calling my husband crying. He's like, Yasmin, you went to India because you were so excited to go and, you know, be at the ashram and immerse yourself in spiritual devotion. What's happening? Why are you just crying the whole time? And even my teacher there, Sri Shakti Narayani Amma, because you go up and you get tirtham, which is like holy water. And even my teacher sort of went to me, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm fine. But I just needed to release it. So that's what we do at the full moon, okay? And that's one of the things that we do. Now, Amy's question is, what do you do after that? You just keep releasing. You just keep letting go in the waning cycle. You really try to allow yourself time to breathe out. Okay, and it's not always possible. I know, I have deadlines, you know. I understand that sometimes there are waning cycles where you just can't. I mean, this is a waning cycle right now, isn't it? You just can't just do nothing. But if you can, do it, or at least allow yourself 1 or 2 days to breathe out. And then at the very end of the waning cycle, we get the dark moon. I'm trying to get Demetra George on here to talk about the dark moon, but so far she's not replying to my emails or the emails of a mutual friend that we have, so I hope she's okay. Anyway, so that's what we do. We just release and we release and we release, okay? So there's lots of questions coming in here. One question I saw whizzing past as I was talking was... how long do we have to do the course? And the answer to that is lifetime access. So you buy the course, you've got lifetime access. And another question I had was someone said, do we get a certificate because it's a certification course? Yes, you do. You actually do. And you get the right to call yourself a certified moonologer, which otherwise, because we have the rights to this, is not allowed. Deepa says, I missed the 3rd seminar last night. Can I watch it today? Look, I'm not sure. I think you probably can. Just click the link in the emails. And if you want to sign up, someone's saying, how do I sign up? The link is above. The link is above. So who wants a card? Who wants a card? Because I brought my cards up here, especially. Now I can't find them. Oh, I can't find... Oh, there they are on my lap. Who would like a card for the day? What do we need to know today? So there you go. Yes, it's all very exciting having this course and knowing there are going to be people out there who are actually learning all this stuff. Who wants a card? Big day, says Alicia. Okay, just going to see who wants a card. Actually, for anyone who's listening to this on SoundCloud, because this actually gets turned into a sort of podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes, the address to register, to buy the course with $200 off, if you do it before Monday at midnight, is, if you use moonmessages.com, I think it's /web 2020, web as in short for webinar, 2020, but that will take you, I think, to the sign up for the free webinar. I need to make a new short link. Oh, Jody Marie, thank you so much. Okay, here comes a card. What have we got? Oh! So if you do the course, Working with the Magic of the Moon online course, and you become a certified moonologer, this is what you can expect. It's actually possibly the strongest card in the whole book, in the whole card deck. It's the New Moon Eclipse card. Expect powerful change. So if you want to change your life, I know this course will change people's lives, and I can't wait for people to do it. So I'm actually going to come back tomorrow and answer a few more questions that didn't get answered. While we were doing the webinar. If you want to see webinar 3, I think you probably got like another 12 hours to watch it, so watch it. And if you want to get $200 off the course, grab it now. I'm also going to be doing some in-course webinars in January, which is kind of exciting because basically it's going to be on sale between now and Monday night, and then it goes off sale. That's just the way Hay House want to do it. I you know, that's whatever. That's their choice. I wouldn't necessarily do that, but I bow to their wisdom. I guess they've got so much to focus on. They can only focus on one thing at a time. And so, yes, we're going to be doing, I'm going to be doing a webinar for people doing the course in January, two webinars. So any questions you've got as we go along. Yvonne is saying, will there be a Facebook group? We've had that question about 1 million times. So I'm thinking the answer is going to have to be, yes, there will be a Facebook group. We're going to create a book. Genevieve's saying, oh my God, my question was whether working with the moon in this course is the right path for me. Yes, Genevieve, of course it is. This is our right as women, frankly. You know, this is our power. This is a key to our power, which is what I talked about a lot in the 3rd webinar. All right, I'm going to leave it there. And I'll be back tomorrow, I think, 11 a.m. I think I'm just going to do it between now and Monday, and then I'm going to take a little break. Lots and lots of love.